Maddox Derkosh, Pittsburgh Zoo, USA, 2012. On November 4, 2012, 2-year-old Maddox Derkosh visited the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium with his parents. At the African Painted Dogs exhibit, his mother lifted him onto a railing, despite multiple warning signs. Tragically, Maddox slipped and fell 14 feet into the enclosure, landing among a pack of African painted dogs, highly social predators. The dogs immediately rushed him. A police officer on the scene shot and killed one dog in an attempt to stop the attack, but the boy had already suffered catastrophic injuries and bled to death before rescuers could reach him. The incident prompted lawsuits and a redesign of the viewing platform.
Harambe, Cincinnati Zoo, USA, 2016. On May 28, 2016, a 3-year-old boy climbed into the gorilla enclosure at the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden. Harambe, a 17-year-old western lowland gorilla weighing over 400 pounds, grabbed and dragged the child. Zoo staff made the split-second decision to shoot and kill Harambe to protect the boy. The child survived with minor injuries, but Harambe's death sparked global debate about enclosure safety, zoo protocol, and human responsibility around dangerous animals.
Tatiana, the Siberian tiger, San Francisco Zoo, USA, 2006 and 2007. At the San Francisco Zoo, a female Siberian tiger named Tatiana was involved in 2 major attacks. On December 22, 2006, Tatiana clawed and bit a zookeeper's arm during feeding, causing serious wounds that required multiple surgeries. After safety improvements were ordered, she returned to exhibit, only to escape her enclosure on December 25, 2007. Tatiana killed 17-year-old Carlos Sousa Jr., injured 2 of his companions, and ultimately was shot and killed by police during the chaotic attack. One investigation suggested visitors had thrown objects at the tiger prior to her escape.
Bokito, the gorilla, Blijdorp Zoo, Netherlands, 2007. On May 18, 2007, during the 150th anniversary of Blijdorp Zoo in Rotterdam, an 11-year-old male gorilla named Bokito escaped the safety barriers separating his exhibit from the public. He leapt across a water moat and attacked a woman, dragging her across a grass area. She sustained more than 100 bite wounds and multiple fractures. In the chaos, observers fled, and several more visitors were injured as they tried to escape. It took nearly an hour for zookeepers to tranquilize Bokito and return him to his enclosure.
Little Joe the gorilla, Franklin Park Zoo, USA, 2003. On September 28, 2003, a 300-pound silverback gorilla named Little Joe escaped from Franklin Park Zoo in Boston after pushing open an internal door. Little Joe attacked a 4-year-old girl and her babysitter, dragging the child by her clothes, scratching her face, and injuring both before police and zookeepers tracked him down. The encounter sparked a nearly 2-hour pursuit before tranquilizer darts finally subdued him and he was returned to his exhibit.
Sweden and Furuvik Zoo. December 14, 2022, several chimpanzees escaped their enclosure into the park grounds during the zoo's off-season. Staff tried to contain the escape, but ultimately shot and killed 4 chimps, including older individuals, after tranquilizers were considered unsafe in the cold and the apes entered public accessible areas. The killings, described in local media as the Furuvik bloodbath, ignited intense debate on animal welfare, zoo security, and how to handle escaped dangerous animals.
Lion attack at Darling Downs Zoo, Australia, 2025. On July 6, 2025, a 50-year-old woman at Darling Downs Zoo in Queensland was attacked by a lion while observing staff working in the carnivore area before public hours. The lion grabbed her arm and caused catastrophic damage. She was flown by helicopter to a Brisbane hospital where she underwent surgery and is reported stable, despite losing her arm. Zoo authorities said she was a long-time visitor and family member familiar with safety procedures, making the incident even more perplexing to officials. The lion remained in its enclosure and was not euthanized.
Lion mauling of zookeeper Safari World, Bangkok, Thailand, 2025. On September 10, 2025, a zookeeper at Safari World in Bangkok, Thailand, was fatally attacked by a pride of lions after leaving the safety of his vehicle in the safari drive-through area, a clear violation of park protocols. Witnesses said the lion struck him from behind before 3 to 4 others joined, biting and mauling him for up to 15 minutes, while tourists honked and shouted in a frantic but futile attempt to stop the attack. He was taken to hospital but died from his injuries. The park temporarily closed the safari zone and launched an investigation into safety practices.
Hoggle Zoo gorilla attack, Utah, USA, 1997. In August 1997, at Utah's Hoggle Zoo, a 450-pound western lowland gorilla named Tino attacked zookeeper Robert Pratt after gaining access to an area through an open door the keeper was cleaning behind. Tranquilizer teams safely subdue the gorilla. Pratt was taken to a hospital and treated, eventually returning to duty. This incident highlighted the risks zookeepers face even when cautious.
Hoggle Zoo chimpanzee attacks, Utah, USA, 1999. Also at Hoggle Zoo in 1999, 2 zookeepers were severely injured by 3 chimpanzees after an indoor enclosure gate was left open. Zoo authorities responded by euthanizing 2 of the attacking chimps and relocating the third to another facility. The event led to extensive policy and habitat changes at the zoo. Wolf attack at Château de Thoiry, France, 2024. In June 2024, a serious wolf attack occurred at the Thoiry Zoo Safari, a drive-through wildlife park near Paris where predators roam freely in large enclosures. A 37-year-old woman staying overnight in a safari lodge entered a restricted area on foot early in the morning, an area clearly marked as vehicle only. Unaware she had crossed into the wolf reserve, the woman was suddenly attacked by 3 Arctic wolves, which bit her in the neck, back, and leg. Her screams alerted staff, who quickly intervened and rushed her to a hospital. She survived but suffered severe injuries. Zoo officials stated that the wolves acted purely on natural predatory instinct after a human entered their territory. The incident sparked renewed debate about visitor responsibility and safety risks in open-range zoos, where crossing barriers, even briefly, can have life-threatening consequences.
Gugu, the giant panda, attacks at Beijing Zoo, China, 2006 to 2009. Most people imagine giant pandas as calm, cuddly ambassadors of wildlife conservation, but the story of Gugu at the Beijing Zoo proves that wild animals can be unpredictable and dangerous when humans ignore safety barriers. Gugu was a male giant panda born on September 25, 1999, and lived his entire life at the Beijing Zoo. Although pandas mostly eat bamboo and seem placid, they are still members of the bear family and possess the strength and instincts to defend themselves when startled, especially if humans breach their space. First attack, September 19, 2006. The first incident occurred on a warm fall day when a drunken visitor decided to climb over the barrier into the panda enclosure. Thinking it would be funny or affectionate, he attempted to hug Gugu. The panda reacted instinctively. Gugu bit the man on both legs, sinking his powerful jaws into flesh. The visitor later claimed he even tried to bite the panda back, but the animal's thick fur and strength made that impossible. Zookeepers sedated Gugu with water spray to stop the attack, and the man was hospitalized with significant injuries. Second attack, October 23, 2007. Just over a year later, a 15-year-old boy named Li Shi-tao climbed over the enclosure to get closer to Gugu and another panda. Startled by the sudden intrusion, Gugu reacted violently, biting the teenager's legs and tearing flesh away. Witnesses reported that the attack lasted for minutes before staff intervened. The boy was rushed to the hospital with deep wounds that required extensive treatment. Third attack, January 9, 2009. The final recorded incident took place when another visitor leapt over the barrier to retrieve a toy dropped by his child.
As he reached into the panda area, Gugu once again reacted with aggression, biting him on the legs and causing serious injuries. Medical officials treated the wounded man's ligament damage and lacerations in the hospital.